Welcome, intrepid Python explorers, to the mysterious world of error handling and exceptions. Today, we embark on a quest to conquer the most baffling beasts of Python coding, errors and exceptions. Like unexpected dragons in a fairy tale, these can swoop down and set your code ablaze if not handled with care. The diverse landscape of Python errors. Like a zoo of wild creatures, each error in Python has its own unique behavior. Let's take a safari tour and meet some of the most common inhabitants of this land. First up, meet the syntax error, the mischievous monkey of Python errors. This little prankster pops up when Python can't decipher your code, often due to typos or missing elements. Here, our code is missing a colon. It's like telling a joke but forgetting the punchline. The syntax error monkey swings down, reminding us to mind our P's and Q's, or in this case, our colons and parentheses. Next, we encounter the name error, a creature as elusive as a chameleon. This error arises when Python encounters a name that it doesn't recognize, often because it hasn't been defined yet. In our code, farewell_message hasn't been defined, but we tried to use it anyway. The name error chameleon changes colors, revealing itself to remind us, I don't know what that is. The type error as chatty and confused as a parrot. This one squawks loudly when you mix data types that don't play well together, like adding a string to an integer. Here we tried to add a string to an integer, and our type error parrot is having none of it. It squawks. You can't mix apples and parrots, or strings and numbers. Finally, we come across the index error, the overambitious squirrel of the group. This error scurries in when we try to access an index in a list or tuple that's out of range. In our treasure list, we only have 3 items, but we reached for the 4th. The index error squirrel pops up to tell us, hey, that's too high for me to climb. The try except block in Python is like having a wise old owl by your side, ready to hoot sagely advice whenever trouble brews. It allows you to try running your code and gracefully accept if Python squawks an error. Here, our daring act of dividing by 0 would normally lead to disaster. But with our trusty try except block, we turn a potential catastrophe into a humorous hiccup. But wait, there's more. Our wise old owl, the try except block, isn't just a one-trick bird. You can tailor it to catch specific exceptions, like a seasoned beastmaster taming different wild creatures. In this snippet, we are prepared for both an overly ambitious squirrel, index error, and a confused parrot, value error. Each error is caught with its own net, letting us handle them with finesse. Handling specific exceptions in Python is like having a quiver full of different arrows, each designed to hit a particular target. Instead of using a one-size-fits-all approach, we can gracefully handle each error with its own tailored solution. In our example, the alchemist coder is prepared with a specific antidote for a value error potion mishap and a map for the lost file not found error scroll. Python doesn't just tell you that an error occurred, it gives you the details. Like a wise sage, it imparts information about the error, helping you understand what went wrong and where. In this spell, our wizard uses exception as error to capture and inspect any unexpected error. Knowledge is power, especially when dealing with Python's mystical exceptions. The else block in a try-except statement is like a hidden cove of calm waters after a storm. It's executed when the try block runs without any errors, a reward for smooth sailing through treacherous code. In this magical moment, our else block is the celebration after a successfully cast spell. It's the moment when the wizard raises their arms in triumph. No potion explosions today. Next, let's meet the finally block, akin to a trusty parrot on a pirate's shoulder, always having the last squawk, no matter what. The finally block runs whether an exception is raised or not, ensuring that some crucial code always executes. In our seafaring code journey, regardless of whether we encounter calm seas or a maelstrom of errors, the finally block ensures our message, like our trusty parrot, always gets delivered. Using else and finally enhances the clarity and reliability of our Python scripts. It's like having a well-drawn map and a trusty compass. They guide us through the unknowns of error handling with precision and assurance. Raising an exception in Python is like a wizard conjuring a fireball. It's a deliberate act, a signal that something has gone amiss in the magical code concoction. In our mystical example, the wizard checks their magic power before casting a spell. If it's too low, a value error fireball is conjured, warning that the magic power isn't sufficient. It's a proactive approach to prevent casting spells that could backfire. Creating a custom exception in Python is like a wizard brewing a unique potion. It's tailored to specific circumstances, giving you more control over the magical mishaps in your code. In our enchanting tale, the dragon error is conjured when our mythical reptilian friend is feeling a tad grumpy. It's a specific signal that tells other parts of our code to tread lightly around the dragon's lair. Custom exceptions aren't just for show. They're powerful tools that enhance the readability and maintainability of your code. They help you communicate more clearly what went wrong and where, like a beacon shining light on a murky problem. Here, our dragon error not only signals a problem, but also encapsulates the specific dragon issue at hand. It's like sending a clear, concise message via a magical raven, rather than a confusing smoke signal. And that's it. A short introduction to the art of taming bug dragons in Python. Throughout this journey, we armed ourselves with more tools and strategies that turned these dragons into friendly pets, which helped us write solid, error-proof Python code. Let's continue our adventure.